sport of baseball, but the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I'm sure to you personally. Can you just elaborate maybe on how you felt hearing that news tonight?
Yeah, I mean that's the Cobra, right? I mean, he for the time that he was here with the Pirates, he did some amazing things on the field. You know, part of being a world champion here, and you know, crazy numbers. You know, back-to-back years where he won the batting title. And, you know, I think people don't. It's crazy. It's a crazy game we play because he was a very big guy. So I remember one of the first times meeting him. You always have this this thought of what they are, who they look like. You know, or what they look like. I've never seen him in person. Only seen video and. But a guy that big and to be the hitter that he wasn't necessarily like Willie Stargell, but you know he was a hybrid of it. You know, he was a guy who could do a little more than just hit. He could hit power, and you know he played a great outfield as well. So yeah, you know it's a tough thing to hear, but you know he had been battling you know. Parkinson's for quite some time, which you know we ended up finding out about that quite some time ago, and you know it was rough to see him kind of go through that, you know, and you know I just hope now he's in a better place and not having to worry about any of that stuff anymore. So yeah, I was just thinking about his family and the fan base who may have had any type of interaction with him, you know, childhoods, and you know, he was probably Superman to a lot of people when he played. So yeah, so it's a tough thing, but you know, try to focus on the good, the positive, the things that he did while he was here, and happy I had the chance and opportunity to get to meet him.
I feel like you guys represented him pretty well today.
I hope so. I hope so. You know, it's a good win for us. So, you know, it's always tough to hear, you know, news like that. So, it was good to be able to go out and win in the fashion that we did.
Touched on a little bit. What was your personal relationship with Dave?
You know, I never really knew Dave on a real personal level. You know, but there were definitely a handful of times to where I've met him, and when you know they have something going on here at the stadium, I've had a signing where I was sitting right next to him, and we both just sat next to each other and just talked for you know an hour or two. So that was the one time where we were right there across the street. So yeah, that was the one time I got to know him quite a bit, and just learn a little bit about him, his personal life, and yeah, he was a cool guy. You know, he was a real big guy, cool guy, and you knew when he was in the building. So so it was he's a big guy, and just all around. It's just that's who he was, and that was his personality, and joking with the guys around him, and yeah. Picking, making fun of people, that's just him, So, yeah, it was, yeah, I got to know him a little bit just in those instances, but, outside of that, I never really got past that.
Signing probably would have been Parts Fest then, one year?
I would maybe. I don't know if, I'm sure there was, because, they would always have guys come in too and sign back when they used to do it the way they did back in the day, so, but yeah, this was a different time when I was with him. It was actually the private signing, so you got to know him a little more on a personal level that time.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.